Bitcoin, which is the subject of everyone's discussion surrounding the $1 and $2 billion from Ripple, is going to be the focus of discussion in this episode. After returning more than $60,000, we will talk about Swift and Ripple in further depth because I have some additional wonderful news that you just have to see. In addition to everything else, humans. Do you think XRP is a sleeping giant? I will explain everything to you, so please have a seat, relax, and let's get started. I will get everything broken down for you. $7,650 worth of Bitcoin. It is currently up 5.6, and it is exhibiting some red on the RE chart. Additionally, USDT and USDC are both coming in at 99 cents as XRP, despite the fact that there is some red on the hourly chart of Ethereum coming in at $3,630. It has increased by 5.61% over the past 24 hours. As of right now, it has decreased by 74%, with a mean lean of 64 cents. In contrast to the 24-hour chart, the hourly chart displays a green background. It is something that I have been making a concerted effort to take part in. It is currently slightly lower. For my part, I believe this. If you are keeping track, it was 68 cents when you woke up, but it is currently 677 cents for those who are counting. Within the context of the present bull market for Bitcoin, I am making my objective and strategy public. Once I have entered a transaction, I instantly exit it if you are looking for deals that will be profitable for you. In addition, I am able to acquire some TA charts for you if you are looking for a request assistance. You have sent me a message within the group, and I am aware of it. I will get back to you today because a couple of you have expressed interest in scheduling that one-on-one phone call between us. People, give me a call right now. I'm going to be there soon. Try not to be terrified. There are only 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6 days left in the month of 35 for Generation 2, according to the number of lines. Given that my calculations are accurate, it is imperative that we sell these. Is it possible that we will be able to do it in 6 days on average? Please be aware that all of them have been purchased. TDN is the token. For the upgrading to the exchange, I am required to use the money that I already own. Whenever I receive a call from Brad Garland, I make sure to read through all of the news. There are several websites, possibly 7 or 8 in total, from which I assume. Now, I've finished going through all of them. It seems that everyone is talking about the same issue. As far as garlinghouse is concerned, neither I nor the SEC ought to read the headline of the news article. Are having a conversation about the SEC. The situation is the same with Ripple and Sue. There are 2 billion blah blah blah. Make use of this item repeatedly wherever you go. Clearly, there is no more notable Bitcoin news that needs to be covered by everyone. This is something that must be taken into consideration. This one, according to Garlinghouse in the Ripple case, the Securities and Exchange Commission is exerting pressure on the judge to impose fines and penalties that amount to a total of $2 billion. With regard to the Ripple v. CC case, the fact that there were 4 separate cases filed is something that I find to be rather remarkable. Due to the fact that they have already lost 3 of their past 4 games, it appears as though the SEC is conducting a suicide mission. It was there that they made $2 billion. Try to picture what would occur if they were to take the first 3. To what extent did they intend to make a request for $10, $15, or $20 billion? As stated in a post that was published on social media by the Chief Executive Officer of Ripple Labs on Monday, the Securities and Exchange Commission is apparently requesting that a judge in the state of New York impose a judgment against the firm that is worth more than $2 billion. According to Stuart Aldura, Chief Legal Officer of Ripple Labs, the request for judgment and remedies that was submitted by the SEC on Friday is still being kept under wraps between the parties. On Tuesday, March 26th, the documents will be made available to the public, however certain redactions will be included in the documents. At this point in time, we have already witnessed them. The verdict will put an end to it, so rise to the occasion. Ripple Labs and the Securities and Exchange Commission (CC) have reached this level in the protracted legal conflict that began in December of 2020. The beginning of the bull market was when it began. Let it come to an end with the bull run of 2020. What are your thoughts on that during the bull run that will occur in 2024? That is entirely what I am all about. I find it inexplicable that the Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) even has a leg to stand on, in reference to Stewart's remark in which he mentioned gazing at the screen and listening to 2 billion. Standing here is completely illogical and makes no sense at all. I believe that they were unsuccessful in 3 of the first 4 instances, and at this point, it is likely that they are attempting to make a profit from everything. Fred made the statement, "What's going on? Family, I would ask that you please forgive me while I attempt to determine the identity of this handsome man who is included in Exhibit L of the exhibition list on the lie side of this motion. Please have a look at the submission that the SEC made. The comment made by Brad Garlinghouse on Twitter, which can be found on page 2, states that this is a truly significant slice of history. At the time that Brad Jinghouse said, "We won," and a photograph was shot at XRL Vegas, this was provided by them without even providing a comment regarding it. As a result, the SEC is utilizing this information in this situation. As far as I can tell, however, the Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) is incensed and enraged by the fact that they were deceived. As a result, they are currently seeking to take legal action against Target and Ripple, suing them for unbelievable amounts of money in an effort to acquire anything. It is my opinion that they are not receiving more than $2 billion, despite the fact that they are capable of being extremely honest. The value of Bitcoin has risen back above 70,000 as the stock market for cryptocurrencies continues to increase. It is reported, after a relatively tranquil weekend, the value of Bitcoin Ether soared as a result of the jump in the value of cryptocurrency-related stocks that occurred late in the trading session on Monday. As this article was being written on Monday evening, Bitcoin has recaptured $71,000 for the first time in almost 10 days, with the price having increased by almost 8% to $71,000. Additionally, there has been a rise in Ethereum. On social media, there is a great deal of thrill and excitement. It's going to be honest with you. Fanatics who insist that BlackRock never loses are mistaken, and they are also incorrect in their assertion that an ETF spot is a poor idea. Now, an Ethereum exchange-traded fund ETF is on the horizon. It might launch either this year or the following year. We are getting close to the year. In addition, I am of the opinion that an exchange-traded fund ETF for XRP will be introduced, and it is possible that we will see an abundance of ETFs either this year or the next year. Please educate yourself on the concept of a WIZO if you are not already familiar with it. It is kept by us. Find it on Google as soon as possible and come back to me. It is rated PG-13, so smoke, please make this available to the public. It is said in the statement that SWIFT is able to send and receive XRP in the same manner as fiat cash, which eliminates the requirement for cryptocurrency exchanges at either one or both ends of the transaction. SWIFT, on the other hand, enables users to send and receive XRP in addition to fiat currency, such as US dollars. This eliminates the requirement for cryptocurrency exchanges, at least until cryptocurrencies are extensively utilized at the register. In spite of the fact that SWIFT is conducting experiments with 4-time quarter sellers or its high-speed GPI with FTF, which makes it difficult for cryptocurrency exchanges to comply with KYC and AML rules, SWIFT is a cryptocurrency exchange. It is not the statement that is now being published here that I am trying to find out. Do you know where this paper was first published? Despite the fact that I do not consider SWIFT to be a consortium of banks, we are familiar with a significant number of them. Those financial institutions who use SWIFT are also utilizing Ripple in it, which enables them to gain access to demand liquidity. This is something that I will continue to repeat because it is a statement that is quite genuine, which is why I say it so frequently. We are able to send emails in 3 seconds, yet we are still unable to receive money. What is the reason for this? XRP, a sleeping giant, is the response that Tony the Bee gives. Take a look at this. There is a sleeping giant that is aiming for these $17, which appear to be somewhere between 14 and 17. These are not inconceivable aspirations. In the event that a parabolic blow-off peak is witnessed, the market capitalization of cryptocurrencies will approach $10 trillion. Alternatively, when there is no other cryptocurrency available, we see a significant rotation into XRP as the bull cycle comes to a close. In the case of Ethereum for Bitcoin, we are currently observing a significant rotation into XRP, and I do not believe that any throws have yet released. The numbers of this kind are readily apparent. The possibility of these kinds of figures has never been dismissed by me. On this channel, I have mentioned that I am a fairly conservative person and that I would prefer to receive my predictions. That is something that I have stated. Contrary to popular belief, I prefer to establish extremely low estimations and then exceed them by a significant margin. I have always set my sights on earning between $3 and $6.50. In the event that